This is a demonstration of DBMS Consulting's LMS capabilities for the VA with respect to the RFQ response for the Fisher House Manager's demonstration. What we've done is created a demonstration LMS module which is about the Fisher House Foundation itself. We've uploaded that module into our own LMS system to show that we have the capability to develop it and then import it to another LMS system. We've done this in a SCORM 1.2 compliant format so that you could see we can develop and upload into a separate LMS system. We understand that this would have to be uploaded into the VA's TMS system, which is SCORM 1.2 compliant, if we were to develop it. You can see here that we've already uploaded a catalog. In this case, it's just called the Department of Veterans Affairs, and in here there's an actual module, a course, that is the demonstration training for RFQ 645783. If there was multiple modules, they would appear here as separate courses. Since we've already tested it, this particular user, which is a demonstration user, is already enrolled in the course. We've provided the link and the same credentials for this VA Fisher House account in our RFQ response, so you're all free to go in and actually run the training yourself. In case you have a problem doing that, then we've created this video so that you could actually see what the training looks like. Suppose that there was some kind of problem actually running the training from your internal network or anything of that nature. Also, you would require Flash to actually run the training itself to see the video and so on. So if, for example, you didn't have Flash on your PCs, you could still run this video to get an idea of what the training actually was. I'm going to go ahead and rerun that actual training. You can see here that it's already been completed, and I'll rerun it again just so that you can see what that training actually looks like over here. I won't speak during the actual training, so what you'll see and hear is the actual training itself. Also, the screen resolution for the training is slightly larger than the current recording resolution that I'm using, so I will scroll so that you can see various parts of the training as they're actually occurring as well. This is a demo training describing Fisher House by DBMS Consulting Inc. Click on the Next button to continue. Zachary Fisher, along with his brothers Martin and Larry Fisher, started Fisher Brothers, a commercial real estate company, in 1915 in the New York City area. Through the success of Fisher Brothers, Larry Fisher started many philanthropic activities, including the preservation and restoration of the USS Intrepid into a floating museum. In this picture, Zachary Fisher presents President Ronald Reagan with the Intrepid Freedom Award. After hearing about a soldier who slept in his car and could not afford lodging to visit his wife in a military hospital, Zachary Fisher donated $20 million to build the first Zachary and Elizabeth Fisher House in Bethesda, Maryland in 1990. Eventually, the Fisher House Foundation was formed, and the late Zachary Fisher passed control to his nephew, Kenneth Fisher, shown in this picture. To hear Ken Fisher's own description of the start of the Fisher House Foundation, click here.
Well, yes, after Zach had rescued the USS Intrepid, the aircraft carrier, from the scrap heap because of so much history, he wanted to do more. And the wife of then Chief of Naval Operations, Pauline Trost, made a phone call and made Zach aware of a sailor sleeping in his car because his wife was receiving treatment. And resources for a long stay in a hotel. And when Zach heard that this was one of those decisions that was an easy one, he mobilized immediately. He called a few people in. He said, how do we make this happen? And using money from his own pocket, Zach essentially built the first 10 Fisher houses on his own. It was only after the need started to grow that the foundation was formed.
As of April 1st, 2011, there are 56 Fisher houses around the world. This map, taken from the publicly available 2010 Fisher House Foundation Annual Report, shows the location of the Fisher houses in the continental United States, including locations in the Boston area and several at the National Naval Center in Bethesda, Maryland. Click anywhere on the VA Boston Healthcare System, West Roxbury, Massachusetts location to see a video of the opening of the Boston Fisher House.
You know, it is a very happy day in the city of Boston. Why is that? Well, Ken Fisher is here. The key there, Fisher, as in Fisher House. Today will be the ribbon cutting over in West Roxbury for the long-awaited, very long-needed Fisher House Boston. Ken Fisher, congratulations. This is a beautiful day.
Thank you. It sure is.
Now, for those that don't know, tell everybody, what is the Fisher House?
Fisher House is a home away from home for families of sick or injured servicemen, women, or veterans to stay in for no charge for as long as the hospital stay dictates.
So we got somebody at the VA hospital over there. Their family can now come and not have to worry about, geez, where am I going to stay? How am I going to get my food made? All that sort of stuff. You've provided it for them.
That's correct. We've honored the sacrifices that have been made on behalf of this nation by providing this for the families. This is a time when families are under a great deal of stress. One of the factors should not be worrying about where they're going to stay, how much it's going to cost them, and that kind of thing. They can focus totally on the healing process.
The Fisher House Foundation is an absolute great cause. What is this, number 4?
Fundraising is an essential part of the Fisher House Foundation's mission to provide free and extremely low-cost housing to families of veterans while they recover in VA or military hospitals. The majority of funding for the Fisher House Foundation continues to come from contributions and donations, according to the publicly available 2010 Fisher House Foundation Annual Report. Click on each section of the logo image pie chart to learn more about the individual revenue sources. 2010 revenue from contributions were $31,134,162 US, or about 61.7%. 2010 revenue from grants, $9,933,711 US, or about 19.6%. 2010 revenue from contributions of special events net of expenses was $741,079 US, or about 1.4%. 2010 revenue from donated goods and facilities was $8,410,817 US, or about 16.6%. 2010 revenue from interest and dividend income, $230,141 US, or about 0.4%. In this image used under public license from the U.S. Navy, First Lady Michelle Obama and Ken Fisher opened the first of 3 new Fisher houses at the National Naval Center in Bethesda, Maryland on December 2, 2010. The Fisher House Foundation continues to be one of the most recognized and well-managed nonprofit institutions in the United States and the world, having received several awards, including multiple 4-star ratings from Charity Navigator. In addition, several initiatives continue in parallel to expand the presence of Fisher Houses and to serve veteran heroes as they return home. Click here to listen to Ken Fisher's description of the amazing progress made by the Fisher House Foundation in 2011.
That's right. And let me tell you, it doesn't matter what the amount is. It will all go towards supporting the Boston Fisher House and essentially help build other Fisher Houses where they're needed. The impact of the foundation over the last year, since we last spoke, has been incredible. We've opened 11 Fisher Houses. That's fantastic. We've gone from serving 12,000 families a year to 17,000 families. That's a 44% increase. 4 million total nights of lodging for these families. And our Hero Miles program, which I know you touched on before, is our partnership with the airline. We just gave out our 25,000 tickets. That's fantastic. By the way, we're trying to get out.
Who are the intended guests of Fisher Houses? Choose all that apply. Note, the order of this narration of choices may not be the order in which the choices appear on your screen. Veterans, families of veterans, current servicemen or servicewomen, or traveling business people. Incorrect. Click anywhere or press Y to continue. Correct. Click anywhere or press Y to continue. Match the items in column 1 with the correct person in column 2. Note, the order of items in column 1 on this narration may not match the order of items in column 1 on your screen. Column 1. Current chairman of the Fisher House Foundation, original founder of the Fisher House Foundation, recipient of the Intrepid Freedom Award. Column 2. Zachary Fisher, Kenneth Fisher, President Ronald Reagan. Try again. Incorrect. Click anywhere or press Y to continue. Click on the picture of the Boston Fisher House. Note, to change your asterisk selection, use the clear button. Try again. Correct. Click anywhere or press Y to continue. Place the following events in the correct time order from oldest to the most current. Note, the order in which the events are narrated may not be the order in which the events appear on your screen. Formation of the Fisher Brothers Real Estate Company. Formation of the Fisher House Foundation. Opening of the Boston Fisher House. Try again. Correct. Click anywhere or press Y to continue. Who are the intended guests of Fisher houses? Match the items in column 1 with the correct person in column 2. Note, the order of items in column 1 on this narration may not match the order of items in column 1. Click on the picture of the Boston Fisher House. Note, to change your asterisk selection, use the clear button. Place the following events in the correct time order from oldest to the most current. Okay, once the assessment is completed, we return back to the actual LMS system so we can see that the data was saved from the assessment. Now, if it was the first time that the test was being taken, then it would show the correct score of 75%. Since we retook the training and it was already tested once with a score of 100%, then it shows the score of 100%. However, there is an audit trail report to show the number of times that a student's actually taken the course. Also, the settings for the number of times they can retry the questions, as well as the number of times they can attempt to retake the test if they happen to fail it the first time, are also things that are 100% configurable under the SCORM 1.2 compliance requirements. Also, the appearance of the table of contents and the scroll bar on the bottom of the training, or what they call the play bar, that's also something that's configurable. I've included that just to show, for ease of use, some of the different options that you have for the deployment of the actual training. And finally, the way the videos and the narration are played for the pop-ups is something that, it's a function that we use that's called sticking, where you click on it to actually permanently show it on the screen. There is something that's harder to show in a video, where if you just take your mouse pointer and roll over that section, you'll also see that same content, but as soon as you roll off of it again without clicking, it will go away. And this is something that is an issue. If we just explain that to the users, they have an easy way of just looking at part of that content, but they don't have to sit through an entire video or an entire audio narration if they chose not to do that. So that's another option that we've configured in the demo. I hope that this gives a good overview of what DBMS Consulting is capable of doing to meet this particular requirement. And we also encourage you to actually log into the system and to try the course yourself. And please come back to us with any questions that you have. Thank you so much for your time.